Welcome back to another episode of Athlete POV. We're sitting down with Aleksa Gulbe, Indiana forward. Just finished up the Big Ten tournament. Obviously, not the way you guys wanted to end it, but looking forward to the March Madness tournament now. Selection Sunday coming up. How's it going?
So far, so good. I mean, as you said, the Big Ten season didn't end in the way we kind of wanted to, but when looking at the bigger picture, looking forward to the Selection Sunday, and it's tournament time. Everybody kind of putting that last loss against Iowa, kind of packing it up and putting it behind, and it's the next step for us. We know our bigger goals.
Absolutely. Now on Selection Sunday, do you guys all meet up as a team and sit in some team area and really just is it intense? What's the feeling like there?
Well, it's definitely intense. It's definitely intense. Well, all my 4 years, except my sophomore year, because that's when COVID happened, all my 4 years we've kind of gotten together in the film room, or last year it was in the assembly hall, and we were watching, we watch it all together, the Selection Sunday. And last year we watched it on the big screen,
right?
The scoreboard, which was pretty impressive because
yeah.
we're huge screen.
I feel like for such an iconic tournament, this right beforehand, leading up to it, is probably so nerves are shattering. It's very intense, especially with your team. It's just a good atmosphere to see where you guys end up, what bracket where you are, where you got to travel to. Yeah.
Exactly. And what's the funny thing? We usually practice beforehand. So, for example, me, when I wake up that day, I'm just thinking all about the selection show, and and when you go to practice, you're kind of all pumped up because it's more basketball is coming, and I just think it's so cool. We have they get us food. We got food catered beforehand, as a post practice meal, and it's a kind of like a family dinner,
right, yeah.
And then at the end of the dinner, there are the huge announcements, and everybody just sit there, and the nerves. It's yes, it's yeah.
Yeah. So now from this past season, obviously, you hit your 1,000th point. What was that moment like on the court?
Well, I didn't even know. I didn't even know that was gonna happen. I mean, I know a lot of my teammates have hit their 1,000 points and all that, but I don't know. I didn't really think about it myself that I could be somewhere close to that. But it was cool. It was cool. I don't remember which game it was, but we lost that game, so it wasn't as
sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was just I remember coaches coming up to me after the game and they're "Oh, by the way, you hit your 1,000 point and congrats." But
bigger picture about the team.
Yeah,
I get it.
We
Yeah.
took it out that day. Kind of tough, but it's awesome. It's awesome that I had that
and
accolade
nothing. That's not it's not a lucky moment. Obviously, you've had hard work to put into it. Get where you got to be. Yeah. So now yourself from Latvia, what has the transition been like from Latvia to now the United States, where you've been the past couple of years?
Well, at first I'd say it was just a cultural transition in the obviously speaking English and studying in English. It's obviously completely different than studying in my own language, and I didn't even think before coming here, I didn't even think that there would be as much cultural differences. But as we go, it's just completely different. The perception of life that Americans have compared to what Europeans have, it's completely different. And for example, fast paced, all the time it's go go go. Europeans,
Yeah.
is more laid back, are more laid back, and I don't know, things like that. Coffee is always to go, I enjoy coffee
Oh
and like
wow. Yeah.
and
Thinking about that.
exactly. And I would like ask my teammates like if we I don't know if we wanted to hang out, and I'll be like, let's just go have some coffee, and it would be for me just sitting down at a cafe
Right,
and just
right.
over coffee. So that was a pretty big transition, and obviously, like when we talk about basketball, um, I didn't think that taking charges is such a big thing.
Right, I
That's
saw
what,
we saw that in an interview, and you were just saying how it's so like soft here, and everything wasn't like there's so many fouls are called, sort of, right?
yes, yeah, yes, and like it's just weird. I think before coming here, I thought it was more aggressive. I think it's definitely more aggressive, but in one-on-one setting. In Europe,
Mm,
it's just we move the ball a lot, and it's more of a team play. I don't,
right.
you know what I'm trying to
I
say?
understand what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and here, like in Europe, like nobody will. I mean, like obviously, if there's an offensive foul, like they'll call it, but just like I would say the art of taking a charge
Right.
is new for me. You know.
Definitely. So now, one of the Indiana assistants for your recruiting process, they went to go visit you. What was that like, and was it like a shocker to see like a coach traveling overseas to recruit a player?
Yes, yes, it was crazy. I remember Coach Rhett reaching out to me after the World Championships in 2016, I think. So Latvia, we qualified for World Championships. We went to Spain, and he was one of the spectators there, and there were a bunch of college coaches as well. And he reached out to me, and that year, so he also came over for 2 days, I think, and that was interesting. And he was really interested in knowing more about Latvia and knowing more about the culture, sightseeing a little bit. It's also interesting for him to come over.
Absolutely, yeah. That's like not you don't do that every day. I remember there
Exactly.
was that interview that I saw. I really don't remember what exactly it was, but he said you sent him a list of like things to do or something, and he went on like some run, and it turned into like a longer run than he intended for. So he can check out everything that was in Latvia, being a completely new culture and different new place, like you mentioned. But
Yeah.
in Latvia now, tell me about like the past before Indiana. Like, what was it like? Well, not what was it like. What was like your like career history in Latvia?
So I'm from Riga, which is the capital city of Latvia, and so obviously you have your high school, and we don't have high school teams, but we have kind of like these youth sports teams that kind of progress into professional teams.
Right.
And so I was a part of that youth program, I'd say.
Mm.
And I've been playing. I've played for every national team, youth national team. So that's exciting. I love doing that. And um, I also traveled over to Italy. I played in Italy for 2 years
Oh.
in Ancona and Venice, or Venice, whatever you call it, and 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 then I came back. I practiced with the big team, like the older team,
Mm.
and I think that like especially that transition of like coming back home before going to America was really necessary, and like practicing with the professional team, just being there and getting that experience from other older players was
Mm.
really necessary, and kind of not necessarily prepared, but gave me a better look in what I'm about to expect from America.
Absolutely. So now,
Yeah.
when getting to America, obviously everything is completely a 180 from what Latvia was like, and we saw how you mentioned earlier something about like food, about like everything is so fast paced, and but also you said you like to like travel. What's some of your favorite place to travel in the United States?
My freshman year, our first, I mean, we made it to the NCAA tournament. We were just talking about one of my teammates today that it's crazy how like how we've grown as a team because
Mm,
my first year we were in the bubble and we were the first four teams in, I
right.
think. And so we made it, and it was also the year when information got leaked. So, and in the selection show, we were one of the last teams announced, but we obviously like we knew beforehand that we were in the NCAA. But anyways, we the first round was in Oregon,
Right.
and so we traveled over. I think it was pretty good. I like the scenery. Um, I've heard that it's a lot. It's like it has a lot of rainy and gloomy days, but
In
I really
Seattle.
like
Yeah.
yeah. But I really like the scenery, and I don't know. New York was impressive.
What'd you think of New York drivers?
New York drivers.
Like you said, everything was fast paced. Me
Oh
myself being from like the New York, New Jersey area,
yeah.
chaotic. I shouldn't say chaotic most of the time, but like I feel like definitely like I visited like Florida, very different than
Mm.
like the pace of drivers. Like especially New Jersey gets like a rep for like crazy like not the best.
Because everybody needs to get everywhere, and all the
Yeah,
traffics and everything, and everybody just trying to get to where they have to the faster they can.
everyone's on a schedule like this time at here. And I
Yeah,
like you're presuming like in Latvia it's probably not like that, or at least to a lower extent.
yeah. I mean, traffics are not as bad. I mean, we still got traffics, but
Right.
it's not as bad.
So going into like the tournament now, has your coach like is there something that's been said like a mindset going into the tournament? Like do you have expectations? Is there anything you're like really looking forward to? Like what's Alexa's mindset going into the tournament?
Just be ourselves. Just be ourselves. I'd say before going into no finishing off the Big Ten regular season, we kind of like we were not playing our best basketball, and we also I think we lost like the last three games I think, and we kind of like got back to it after before the Big Ten tournament. We had
Right.
couple pretty intense practices, but whatever it takes,
Right. I'm
and
sure
I'd say
it's probably standard to have a pretty tough practices after a couple and that's in any sport, a couple losses, right? And I'm
yeah.
sure the coaches get on you guys and like really push forward like how something matters or like change the attitude or the mindset of everybody on the team, you know.
Exactly. And it's only because like we know what we're capable of and they know what we're capable of. So I don't know, like coach amplified just during the tournament, Big Ten tournament, the time is here and the place is now, and that kind of like mobilized us,
Mm.
and we started believing in us, and that kind of like made us play better and get back to ourselves. But right now, I just think it's necessary to keep on practicing and just take one game at a time, honestly,
Mm.
because it's tournament time.
Win or go home, you
Anything
know.
can happen. Anything can
Yeah.
happen.
So now, obviously, an athlete like yourself doesn't just get to where you are by luck or chance. What's some of like your best training habits that you implemented into like your everyday life?
Everyday life. Everyday life. I would say I can maybe start with summer, like just off season work. Um, but when I was like freshman, like I've always worked. I've always done some extra work, even before like in high school or like before that. Like I would wake up earlier in the morning and get some shots out. But I think when my going into my junior year, I started practicing with a trainer who was specifically paying attention to my body. And
Mm.
so we were kind of like doing a recomposition of my body. And it was a 3 days a week, just like conditioning weights and working on explosivity or explosion.
Explosiveness, yeah. No, yeah,
Explosiveness.
that's definitely a key aspect to like especially basketball when you're always changing direction, moving around, jumping. Yeah, and when you like obviously you probably know better than me. I'm not a college athlete, but when you have a trainer, obviously it's specialized towards yourself and what you're trying to work on or your strengths to make them better. So yeah, that's definitely something that's probably been a key factor to your overall success, which.
Yeah. Explosivity, sprints, and all that. And I just think it's the basis. Like, like paying attention to your body and just seeing how you feel doing different types of exercises and just seeing what helps is really important. You just like also taking a break is necessary.
Oh,
You
definitely.
know, yeah, like you can't always go, go, go. There has to be a break there, and
Rest days, recovery, whether it be like
exactly,
an ice bath or something like that, or anything to do to recover, yoga, stretch more. Um,
exactly.
yeah.
And as of us, like all of us get into ice bath after every practice. It's just necessary, especially like in postseason.
Yeah, especially when back to back games, that's very important.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that, and I actually love also like lifting weights.
Also
It's just
necessary.
also necessary. Pumps you up, gives you more energy.
Right. So now in the gym when you're lifting weights, do you have like a playlist or music you guys always listen to?
We actually have our IUWBB
Oh, is
playlist on
that's the name?
Spotify.
That's the name.
Yep, yep.
Cool.
Um, I think people can check it out. It's not locked. It's not closed. Um, but I'm a J. Cole fan. When I'm working out, it's J. Cole, and he's such a storyteller.
Yeah, you gotta respect someone who likes J. Cole. Definitely, you know, top tier artist out there. Always like doesn't miss. you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So wait, when you were talking about the ice baths earlier, that just brought up a core memory of mine. Like in high school and in the United States, high school, I played football, right? So I remember just about every day after like a summer camp, like outside in like hot weather, we had like these two like ice tubs, like huge tubs outside. We'd like our trainer would like fill it with water before practice ended, so it would be there. Literally about like 20 guys in like each tub outside in like the heat, but with ice in it, like it was so refreshing and like it would always end with like ice fights, like throw ice at each other. But yeah, definitely, it helped, of course, with recovery. That's the whole purpose.
Yeah,
But when you can have fun with things, especially with your team, um, it makes it
that's
better,
really important. It's really important.
Definitely. So now going back to like, I feel like training and also like your diet goes hand in hand because you can be as physically like set and stable as you can be, but without like a steady diet, eating right, like not like you have to be like a robot and always have like chicken and rice or something. But like, so what are some of like your favorite healthy foods, your favorite healthy snacks that you always like go to?
Definitely. I love apples. I love bananas. Especially during games and game days, like people make fun of me, but I always give a banana to managers. So when I feel that I'm kind of like getting tired, more tired than I'm supposed to be,
Right.
I just ask for that banana, and this is like
Mid
it
game,
goes
like
time.
like in the middle of the game.
I mean during timeout or something, but yes, yes, and then like one of our managers goes like, "We need the banana, we need the banana," and
What? That's
yes,
so
and it
funny.
really helps.
The only time I ever remember well, I guess there's a million different times, but a core time where I remembered an athlete eating on the sideline. There was like this football game. I'm a Jets fan. There was this quarterback back like a bunch of years ago. He had like a hot dog on the sideline, like he was on offense and wasn't playing. Like the defense was on the field, and he was just eating a hot dog, and he was trying to like hide it in his helmet, and it was funny. But yeah, I that's kind of probably not everyone probably eats during the game, you know, but I'm sure like an instant boost and like energy probably, right?
Yes, definitely. Yes, and it's funny. Like, it might sound funny, but I actually, after I eat, like take a couple bites of that banana, like it's just like, you know.
No, definitely. I can, because especially banana, something that's like high in potassium, like, yeah, you can definitely feel like an impact, get you more like, solid energy. Um, yeah, I'm not like hating on you for that. It's just probably odd. And,
No, it's just funny.
yeah, exactly, yeah. I can picture like, eating banana on the side. It's
Yeah,
funny.
literally.
Yeah, so
And
now, go ahead.
like I would say, like, if you talking about like healthy snacks, I think protein bars are great. You know,
Definitely.
when you're craving something sweet, always like a protein bar can help. Stuff
Does
like that.
Does Indiana have like a section for like nutrition, like like a protein bar, like bar, like a stand where you can just pick off like different foods and stuff?
Yeah, we have our own fueling station,
Yeah,
and we've
that's what I meant.
actually, yeah, we have a dietitian. He is responsible for all the sports, so he has a lot of workload. But Isaac has done a great job
Shout out.
with, yeah, let's go, Isaac. Done a great job with like the fueling station and different opportunities for athletes to just snack throughout the day, even if in study hall, like there are some smoothies available, and
What's
it's
your
like
favorite? What's your favorite smoothie?
so they add like also protein powder to those smoothies. I was saying they have this one like peach and like blueberry, like you know
It's solid.
peachy vibe.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's probably much like all like the topics I wanted to hit on. You have anything else you want to add that we didn't mention at all?
I don't think so. I think we did good.
Yeah. So now last thing, we ask this to every athlete that appears on our podcast. So do you have any advice to anybody that's maybe going through a tough time that's also an athlete?
Yeah. Uh, you know, D1 D1 college NCAA athletics, it's tough. It can be tough on you physically and mentally. So I would say just, you know, don't be afraid to talk to your teammates. Don't be afraid to open up to your coaches and just say what's on your mind, because
Hmm.
obviously it's not easy, because you have to kind of like get over that uh, of, I don't know, like ego of
Hmm.
you like not feeling vulnerable in front
Right.
of somebody. But it's normal. Is going through it. It's just depends on whoever is speaking about it and not. But no, I just think just speak about what you're going through, and even if the person doesn't give you a great advice, you will not have it in on your heart. You
Hmm.
know.
Yeah, I feel like it's always great to like say what's on your like inside of you and get it out, because
Yeah.
so many people like bottle up their feelings, especially athletes. How you're supposed to have that stereotype of staying like a tough like person that doesn't talk about their feelings, and I feel like it's
Mm.
definitely beneficial to let it out. So yeah, thank you for saying that, because not a lot of people like yourself speak up about this kind of stuff. So very cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's about it. We want to thank Aleksa for coming on. Wish her the
Thank
best in
you.
this. Wish her the best in this tournament, and we can't wait to see where Indiana falls. I'm sure you guys will know right away. And best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Go Hoosiers.